Leadership. As effective leadership is critical for the organization to success because a strong leader can develop more lead, which enhance the total workforce of the team. For leadership instills a culture that every member wishes to work hard as they can for themselves and also for others. Leadership inspires people to work hard, and good leader provides motivation to the followers. So the team member can feel the sense of belonging to the team, which inspires them to work more effectively to achieve the goal. To develop a leader in a company, the model of traditional leadership requires 4 processes. The first is inspiring vision is needed to be created for the future of the company. The second is the leader needs to inspire and motivate the team about the vision. The third is the leader is responsive to a plan of action, delegating tasks, monitoring and rewarding progress. Lastly, to maximize the effectiveness, continued development of individual and the team is a key to maintain success.
Let's explore what behavioral leadership is. Developed from the foundation of trait theory, behavioral leadership focuses on what leaders do that distinguishes them from their followers. This leadership model extensively examines how leadership relates with the concern for people and concern for production, which is also known as tasks. The leadership grid figure is a visual representation of behavioral leadership. It is a grid that represents results for a leadership personality quiz and determines what kind of leader that someone is based on their reaction to circumstances and questions answered. It measures the participants' concern for people compared to their concern for results. Results range from low concern for people and low concern with results with an impoverished manager, and ranges to a team manager, whom is an individual who has high concern for people and tasks alike. Through using this grid, leaders can examine how behaviours either promote or hinder their performance in the organisation. Another model that represents behavioural leadership is the system of leadership model. This model includes 4 different types of leaders. Like the leadership grid model, this model still focuses on the concern for production and people. Each level represents leaders' effectiveness and is measured by 3 aspects, which will be discussed further shortly.
Behavior important. Leadership is the most dynamic aspect of an organization, which entails the success of achieving best of results within society. The effectiveness of the leaders are dependent over their approaches or way of conducting a task. The 2 fundamental concepts of behavioral leadership is to reproduce the task-oriented approaches where the leaders can show concern about people for getting their job done. The importance of behavioral leadership style can be entailed through leaders promoting behavior for enhancing organization performance. Approaches to behavioral leadership. According to Bob Lucky's systems of leadership model, the behavioral approaches to leadership is defined under 4 aspects: autocratic, democratic, benevolent, participatory. As you can show, I have shown you on the screen and the meanings of them. Leadership style of Donald Trump. Trump is accounted to be an autocratic leader through which he directs people and shows less trustworthy relationship in governing decisions. The identifiable behavior of his autocratic leadership styles are showing weak commitment to democratic rule in countries, refuting authority of his political challenges, less imbuing of freedom among his team members, stifle civil liberties like media in his ruling anatomy. And the last thing is he is less indulged to group thinking activity, which can empower subordinates working under him to be gaining confidence in their allocated work.
There are 3 behavioral skills needed to lead followers. One of them being technical, which is a person's knowledge of the process of technique. The second, human, the ability to interact with people. And the third, conceptual, which are the ideas that enable a leader to set up models and design plans. Using Donald Trump as a prime example to understand these 3 skills that are needed to lead followers, it can be seen that through the technical abilities, Donald Trump has reconciled North Korea and South Korea through diplomacy. However, his policy to separate migrant children from their families at the southern border is also one of the downsides. When looking at the human behavioral skills, which is the ability to interact with people, we can see that in the case of Trump, you either love him or you disagree with everything that he does. In this sense, some of the world's population agrees with Trump's actions, whereas the other population disagree strongly. Some of the ideas that Trump has designed to make America a greater place have a positive intention to make America a better society. However, with some of his ideas, such as building on the Mexican border, the pushing back ISIS, and replacing Obamacare, have a negative intention with some of the societal members. I will be discussing several key points in relation to this topic and theory. Behavioral leadership theory is introduced a new approach to studying leader effectiveness through two main dimensions: task-orientated and people-orientated behaviors. These theories identify consistent correlations between leadership behavior and the result of their actions. Task-orientated behavior is more interested in productivity. In contrast to people-centered leadership, this generates high productivity but low group satisfaction and cohesiveness. Task-orientated leaders are definitive and structural about their expectations and performance standards, enabling them to guide follower commitment, motivation, and behavior through these standards. People-orientated behavior may not directly correlate to high productivity, but allows for better group satisfaction and cohesiveness. People-orientated leaders are likely to be empowering, participative, and democratic, enabling them to build follower respect and a focus on group welfare. One downside of the behavioral approach is that the situation and context is not taken into consideration. This theory has only had moderate success, as two greatly contrasting leadership styles are able to attain the same accomplishments. Effective leadership through the behavioral leadership theories place emphasis on actions taken by the leader rather than focusing solely on characteristics exhibited.